So the story goes to 1942, July 1942. Germans hired a group of construction builders called Baudienst. It was a German special agency for construction works, and they used Polish peasant sons to make some money. They didn't tell them back then what was going to happen, but they told them, go with us and dig this big hole in the ground. And they prepared this big ground, the trench. In fact, this is in the form of a trench, long trench, deep long trench. And afterwards
Goes all the way there.
yeah, all the way down. So the defense marks off the exact place of the massacre. It is very important to pay attention to this plaque, memorial plaque over there. It says it was done on July 10th, but to our knowledge today, it wasn't the exact date. Exact date was the 21st of July, 1942. So when the trench was ready, Germans took people from the ghetto by trucks. There are some groups on the trucks, but there is this memory going, this account going, that there was also a group of people taken from the ghetto on foot all the way from the city center. You can imagine how far it was. Yeah. Anyway, the groups of people from the ghetto were taken in here, and one by one they were standing in lines on the side, on the very side of this trench. The Germans took their shooting. The first line would drop down. They then would use the lime to spread on the bodies, and they would bring another line of people, kill them, and so on, so on. Over 500 people were killed. Parents, children, elder people from the Dembica ghetto. So from this time, this is a holy place, not only for people living in Israel and Canada and all around the globe, but also for people living now in Dembica, for Christian people, because this is one of the memorial places in Dembica. It is fully and public place, fully recognizable by people in Dembica, living here in Dembica today. So I know this place from a little boy, as I was about 8 years ago. My father used to take me to go mushrooming in the nearby forest, and he told me for the first time that it is the place of a massacre. He had a friend who was a little boy back then. In one of the houses that were built near the forest, the little boys were hiding in the attic to see what would happen. And they were witnesses of the massacre. So they were able to tell in detail how did it look like. And they told that afterwards, after the massacre, for many days, I told you that each layer of bodies were covered with lime and with some ground, some earth. But again, even after many days after the massacre, they say the ground would move. And it is a horrible thing to see, because some of the people would be still alive under. We think so. But what could you do? They get suffocated. And
Did your father see it?
No, but he knows it from first hand from one of the little boys who were witnesses. When you say, when we talk about being Polish or being purely Polish or purely Jewish, when we sit here in Dembica, in the heart of the region which was once called Galicia, we are not sure who we are anymore, because we are so intertwined, we are so mixed up as a different species, in fact, Galicianer. We are different type of humans, because we have lived together for so long, we cannot tell now, and to be quite open and quite sure who we are anymore. We are not purely Polish, purely Jewish, purely German, purely anything, because we are Galicianers. And I think that's a different type, and it's so human to be mixed up, to be a mixture of different.
And now I like to move to another, a dear person that we met in Galicia.
So proud.
Her name is Renata. She looks so Jewish. Just look what I'm talking about. Renata, proszę, daj twój mantrę. Proszę. Look to the camera.
Bardzo wiem, co mam powiedzieć.
Nie, jak tutaj wszystkie są tak razem, że się czujesz, wszystkie się czujemy tak razem.
Po polsku mogę powiedzieć, oczywiście, ale chyba tak zostałam wychowana.
I kahachunka.
Nigdy nie było takiego problemu i nigdy nie... Zresztą historia mojej rodziny o tym świadczy, że mój dziadek, który tutaj w Dembicy był kilka lat burmistrzem, wszędzie wpisano, że potrafił współpracować ze wszystkimi. I z Żydami, i z katolikami, i z księżmi, i z katolickich księży, ale po prostu nie wiem, ponad jakimiś tam podziałami, czy z ludźmi, jak sąsiedzi normalnie. Sąsiedzi, współmieszkańcy, nikt nikogo nie dzieli.
Dziękuję. Dziękuję za prostość.